So you want to become a teacher in Texas, but you have a few questions. This video is going to answer the most frequently asked questions we get at 240 certification about how to become a teacher in Texas. My name's Scott Roselle. I'm the owner and founder of 240 Tutoring and 240 Certification. I spend every working hour helping teachers like you get certified in teaching in Texas. When can I get hired to teach? The answer to this question is not as simple as it might seem. So generally, at a bare minimum, you need to have your content test passed. Now, what that means for you, the soon-to-be hired teacher in the classroom, is you first need to enroll in a certification program. I'd personally recommend 240 certification. And then once you're enrolled in a certification program, you can pass your content test. Once you pass your content test, that should check the biggest box that a district needs in order to hire you. What do I have to do before I'm hired to teach? Now, if this is a little while before the new school year, let's say it's the spring and you want to start teaching in the fall, then you'll need to enroll in a certification program, complete 150 hours of coursework, complete 30 hours of observation, and pass a content test. That allows you to be in full compliance. But if this is closer to the school year, so if it's July or August, and you want to start teaching in September, you'll be known as what's called a late hire. And what that means is you don't have to complete the 150 hours of coursework and the 30 hours of observation prior to being hired. You really just have to pass your content test. But be careful, just because you don't have to complete them prior to being hired, you still have to complete them during your first year of teaching. Now, this really isn't as daunting as it may seem. This work that we do at the beginning, the 150 hours of coursework and the observation, it's gonna make that first year of teaching easier and allow you to be more impactful and less stressful in that also difficult first year of teaching. When do I take my certification exam? You're gonna wanna take that exam very soon after enrolling in the program. If you wanna become a certified teacher, you should take your content test as soon as possible. The sooner you take your content test, the better. Now, your certification program is going to require you to complete some sort of preparation prior to taking it. So there's going to be a small gap between when you enroll, when you study for your content test, and when you take your content test. Each program will be able to approve their candidates when they meet what's called readiness to test requirements. This is largely dependent on the candidate's subject-specific strengths and the time commitment to study. What certification exam do I take? The certification exam you take is going to, at a high level, be called the Texas Examination of Educator Standards. It's an exam series for teachers in the state of Texas. Now, the TEKSES is not an individual test, but refers to all the content tests offered by the state of Texas. And the content test you need to take is specifically related to what you want to teach. The point of the content test is to verify that you know the content you will be teaching. That makes sense. The state wants to know that you understand the content that you're going to be teaching students. Now, the content test is generally going to have an elementary level test, like the core subjects EC through 6, where EC stands for early childhood, the core subjects 4 through 8, which allows you to teach math, English, science, and social studies to students grade 4th through 8th grade, or a secondary test, which allows you to teach students in grades 7 through 12. Some exams, like electives, are EC through 12, so you have art or PE EC through 12, which stands for early childhood through 12th grade. What if I don't have a 2.5 GPA? So you just need a 2.5 GPA either overall in your undergraduate or in your last or most recent 60 hours of any coursework. If you have a second degree, like a master's degree, that's above a 2.5 GPA, you can use those hours, and you should use those hours in the last 60. So to recap, if you don't have a 2.5 GPA overall, check your most recent 60 hours of coursework because you're likely to qualify. Now, if you absolutely do not have a 2.5 GPA, either overall or in the last 60, then before you can be accepted into a certification program, you'll need to take a PACT exam to demonstrate proficiency in a content area. You can take the Texas PACT test, or pre-admission content test, in the subject area that you're most interested in teaching. Before you register and start studying for the PACT, make sure you check with your program that you're most interested in to see if it's required.